Welcome to another edition of Carnivore Bites. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman, along with Dr. Eric Lotkin. And there's only two things going on, Dr. Lotkin. Yes, they discovered a new planet that it might have life, but yeah, okay, great. It's coronavirus and Bernie. And we're going to start with coronavirus. And I can say one thing that to me is really just to give you a firsthand experience. Yeah, coronavirus. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, I'm watching TV and I'm like, holy cow. It's like 70% of the world could be. I mean, all these facts and all this dire predictions. So it's here and welcome to it. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of what's going on with coronavirus is just fear and uncertainty. I mean, the fact of the matter is, yes, it's highly contagious. However, the death toll from this is actually very small. And it's getting smaller now that it's gotten out of China. China had a larger death toll because they've got a horrible healthcare system. I know we complain a lot about healthcare in America, but we are miles ahead of what they've
Oh, no,
got
it's
in
quite good.
China.
And people have a misconception about China. I was there. It was a while ago, but you got a real misconception. In a lot of ways, it's two societies. It's the 10% that are doing amazingly. The rest is a third world country, literally.
Right.
It's a fact.
And their healthcare system is not good. So, of course, and add to the fact that we didn't get the real information initially from the Chinese government anyway. I don't think there would have been this much fear and uncertainty had the virus started almost anywhere else. And the fact of the matter is, we've been through this before. We've been through it with SARS, MRSA, Zika, Ebola, H1N1, the swine flu.
Okay, but here's the quintessential question. This is it. This is completely it. Does it end in the spring or not? This is a huge question. This is huge. It's huge.
From
You say anything you want. This is huge.
From all of the medical experts that I've heard from, this does end in the spring because the virus is a flu-like virus. When flu season ends, so will this.
The fuck are these? What's that? I'm sorry, what's that?
From all the medical experts I've heard from, this is a flu-like virus, and when the flu season ends, so will this. Now,
okay, that's huge. If it's true, which we don't know.
Right. This is, it's all speculation at this point, unfortunately. And that's what's scaring people is the fact that we don't have enough facts.
Here, okay, we're not epidemiologists.
Right.
We don't know that. What we do know is politics and society. And the only thing, and it's gotten increasingly the fact, the only thing that could ever screw up Trump, only thing, is the economy. I don't know. I'm a really good economist. I really am. And I hate to say this because I've always been right. Economics happens 90% in the mind, 10% in the real world. If people think this is screwed up, yes, 2 years later, it definitely recovers. No question about it. Absolutely no question. Not even a question. But the problem is it has a 2 or 3 quarters effect, so people don't hire. People lay off. People, you know the drill. The effects are.
I don't think the effects are going to be that long term. The Chinese economy is people are already starting to get back to work. So I think we're going to see a down quarter, definitely. Will it be 2 quarters? It's possible. 3, I don't think it's going. So
Okay,
I
that's huge.
so
That's
I
huge.
I think we're talking about a fairly short-term thing, and the rebound of this should be pretty good because
It
there are
that
certain.
no, 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 you nailed it, Lopkin, like you always do. It's all about if it's short, swift, and non-evasive, Trump wins because the economy could there's pent up demand, all that crap. Okay? If this is long term, if it's not a factor, Trump wins hands down. I'll give you I'm sorry, 80%. How does that sound? Okay, would you would with Bernie Sanders? Are you kidding me? But if this thing, just like 1991, wasn't as bad, but everything was great. Bush won the Gulf War, yada yada yada. The economy dips minorly. People had Reagan fatigue syndrome. He lost. Never should have, but he lost. The only thing that can bring Trump down now is actually the economy.
No, you're absolutely right. It's his election is going to all be about the economy. Here's the thing though. The underlying economy is still strong. Even today, we got housing numbers that blew away estimates. We got
Lagging indicator, my friend.
yes,
It is.
but
It's a
no, no,
lagging
no, no.
indicator.
This is not a lagging indicator because this is sales of existing homes.
Okay.
So this is what's predicting will be actual closes over the next month or two.
Okay. So we don't know. Thank you for reeling us in, Dr. Lopkin. All of us that listen to Carnivore Bites podcast, thank you for reeling us in. Now we move on to Bernie.
Bernie is, Bernie's an interesting situation. I mean, he's got a lot of momentum right now,
He's got all the
but
mojo, dude.
next week is going to be tough for him.
And no, Biden wins. Biden wins South Carolina, but
Well,
you know something?
Biden can win South Carolina, but also remember that's Saturday. Next Tuesday is Super Tuesday.
Again, I think he gets his hand handed to him.
We
his
all
head handed to him.
we can already say with a pretty large degree of certainty that he's going to lose Florida. He was not doing well in Florida before. After his comments praising Fidel Castro,
No,
there's
I'm
no
talking about
way he.
Biden gets
Oh
his
no no.
hand handed.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Biden might get his head handed to him overall. Bernie is going to lose Florida and possibly lose it big.
Oh yeah, there's no question. And the fact about Bernie, he is, I don't know, what do you want to go? I'll use the term online dating. You meet Jane, and she's into fishing and surfing, and she's got an MBA from friggin' Wharton, and then you meet her, and she's a chain smoking whatever.
Right.
No, that's Bernie. He was exposed to the hot
Yes.
lights. Even CNN said that, and he kind of folded.
There was a piece in the New York Times today where they talked to 93 Democratic superdelegates. And they all said if Bernie does not go into the convention already having a majority of delegates, then they are not going to support him. So even if he has more delegates than anyone else, but he doesn't get to that 51% mark, they are going to slap him down at the convention.
I think this is fascinating, and I think we need to follow up with this quickly because events are breaking quickly, Dr. Lotkin. We might have to break traditional protocol and have a carnivore bites before schedule. What do you think?
Possibly, yes, because with Carnivore, with the elections coming up, there's a lot going on.
Thank you, Dr. Lotkin, and thank you for calming us down.
Yeah, I mean that the real key is People are panicking because they don't have information.
And that's right. And that's why Carnivore Bites and Dr. Eric Lopkin are indispensable.
There you go.
Thank you, Dr. Lopkin.
You've been listening to Carnivore Bites, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us every week on carnivoreradio.com, exvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcast Store, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you find podcasts.